Hi Aquarius, this is your reading for May of 2019. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. You could be coming across this video at another time in the future from May of 2019, and you may still watch this video and find relevant messages for you. If you're trusting your intuition and you are working with your own inner guidance, then go ahead and watch this video and take what you need from it. So tune in with me while I shuffle and take a moment here to check in with your higher self and your guidance. Ask your higher self to tune in with my higher self and pass along any messages that you need to hear at this time. And let's get a feedback loop set up between us so that we can tailor this reading specifically for you. Send your energy over into the deck. You may also want to put headphones on while you listen to this reading to really be able to focus and set aside any distractions that might be going on in your in your world right now. So let's take a look what's going on for Aquarius. Well, the first thing that's very vivid and jumps out right away at me from the cards is that you have 3 threes in the reading. 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, and 3 of Cups. But you also have the Empress, which is also number 3 from the Major Arcana. So a heavy influence there on that vibration of 3. I'll go into a little bit further with each of the cards in the reading. But my first impression of that is that I'm hearing bursting forth. I feel like that there is an energy here of some kind of like, it's like something has already been started, but maybe it's coming into this time period during this month. You might actually start to see the physical evidence of that thing in process, in manifestation. So until now, that thing might have been kind of an idea or a concept or a conversation, and around this time you may start to see that the physical form take place of that thing. What else is also interesting here in this reading is that there's quite a few court cards and a lot of reversals. You have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse at the bottom of the reading, at the bottom of the deck, sorry. King of Swords in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse, King of Cups in reverse. And you also have here the Lovers and Chariot from the Major Arcana also in reverse in the outcome position of the reading. There's mixed energy here. You have at the center of the reading the Strength card crossed by the 5 of Swords. So my feeling is that you may not be having like the most easiest time emotionally right now. I feel like I'm hearing that on the horizon, like there's good things on the horizon, but I feel like right now there's this sensation of tension, of weariness, of loneliness, of like a kind of like the feeling I'm getting also from this 5 of Swords crossing the center of the reading here is that there's a kind of mental defeat. Like you may be having to fight off mental weariness, emotional weariness, and a kind of like defeatedness that's coming from the mind. Like there may not be actually that much in your external world that would give you reason to feel down, but there is an energy here that feels like a little bit down, a little bit weary, and it feels like it's coming from the mind and your thoughts getting kind of carried away from you in a way that is, I'm hearing, detrimental to your emotional well-being. So let's go in a little bit further and see if we can uncover a little bit more about what this is about and how we can be proactive in resolving it. Strength at the heart of the reading crossed by the 5 of Swords. This feels to me, and then with the 3 of Pentacles at the foundation and 3 of Swords, this central axis here of the reading kind of feels like it feels frustrating. Like I feel like you feel frustrated at the moment by circumstances that seem to be outside of your control. There may be situations in your work environment or in your personal relationships somehow where there is people that you deal with in close one-on-one relationships or in group dynamics as well. The Three of Pentacles can be about collaborations at work or group projects, group situations. And I feel that there's a frustrating energy in general with these cards here. It feels like there is some kind of I'm hearing limitation. I feel like there's one or more people who could be in your environment or they may not be people that you're close to, that you have a friendship with or have some kind of relationship in a life way, but I feel like there's the influence of people around you at the moment who are having an impact on your emotional and mental state at the moment in a way that's kind of annoying. It feels like there's people whose opinions are a little bit too loud, that are having an impression on you that, I don't know how else to say it. It's frustrating and it's annoying. And I kind of feel like I just want those people to go away and get out of your space because it's somehow disturbing. There's a disturbing feeling there. In some way, there's this effect of like it having a kind of influence on your confidence in a way that's a little bit diminishing. That's what I feel here. So I think some of this energy here of the Strength card and also the Four of Pentacles, these two cards are telling me that there is perhaps a need here to address your boundaries. That could be a lot of what this is here, like the influence of these people who are seemingly having opinions and are voicing their comments and their unrequested opinions perhaps are being shared here in a way that's really, really annoying. It's affecting your well-being in a certain way. It's affecting your well-being in a certain way. And it's even hurtful. Like this Three of Swords is saying like whoever these people are or person, there's something about their opinions and their words and their style of communication and their energetic influence on you that is a little bit hurtful. This needs to be addressed pretty quickly, I feel, because you either need to decide, like, if this person's going to be in your field, in your energetic field, in your auric field, and that's justified. If there's like if they have to be there, if it's a boss or if it's someone, a co-worker or a peer or something that you can't really send away or move away from, then there's something here that needs to be communicated in a really clear way with regards to bringing a return to a balance of power or just setting someone in place in a way, with compassion. This is not about necessarily like fighting fire with fire in a way of like kind of trying to diminish someone who's trying to diminish you. That's not healthy and that's not going to help this situation transform or transmute. But what I feel here is that there is a way that you need to establish a certain type of clarity within your energetic field, with the Strength and the Empress here, that lets this person know that they don't have the authority over you in that way, whether or not this is a boss or, as I said, like someone who is in a position of power above you. There is something in their energy that's disrespectful. That's what it is. It's something in their energy, in the way that they're approaching you or communicating with you or sharing space with you, that feels a little disrespectful. And I feel that it's really important here that you address this particularly very, very directly and communicate clear boundaries with them and essentially adjust and calibrate your own energy field so that they don't have the opportunity to disrespect you in a way, because there's no space for that to be possible. I hope this is making sense. So first of all, I would say address your energy field. Like if there is openings in your energy field or tears or gaps or spaces for someone to speak to you a certain way that's disrespectful, be, or in some way to be, what's the word? Domineering. Like if someone is energetically trying to force you to be submissive, or to try to, you know, force you to do things that you don't want to do, or to do things that you're not supposed to do, or that you shouldn't do, you know, that's very broad and abstract. Make it like, if that's what's happening for you, then really carefully listen to what I'm saying here. It's really important that you very quickly address where it is in your auric field that there is space for someone to do that. And you need to very quickly address and adjust your confidence, your personal self-confidence, your self-worth, your self-value, and close that gap. Close that space or gap or opportunity in your auric field that would enable or allow someone to disrespect you, or take advantage of you, or demean you in any way, or undermine your personal space or authority, personal authority or personal will. Okay, I hope this is making sense. But the energy feels really clear. What I'm feeling here is exactly what I'm describing. So do very quickly adjust where it is that someone is violating your personal space. And if this is a person of authority, like a boss or a co-worker or a peer in some way, you need to put a stop to this as soon as possible, so that it doesn't, because there is the potential here for this to not just continue but to get worse if you don't take care of this as soon as possible. If this energy is coming from a partner, which I feel it could be for some of you, because you do have the Chariot here and the Lovers card. Again, this needs to be addressed rather quickly. There needs to be some readjustment and a recalibration of your own energy field in a way that, again, closes up the energetic space that gives the opportunity for someone to disable you or disarm you or disrespect you, or overstep a personal boundary in a certain way, even if it's someone you've known for a long time. And this may actually have been some kind of energy that's been going on for a long time. Or if it's something that's showing up recently where there's a certain kind of like weird vibe where someone is, like, as I said, overstepping in a certain way, in a particular way. It is very much about you specifically addressing energetically, first of all, like energetically, like striving to overcome any places where there is a lack of self-confidence that gives that room for someone to behave inappropriately or to speak inappropriately. This is about, I'm hearing advancing your personal will. Like not being afraid to stand up for yourself and to speak up for yourself and to check somebody, to confront them if necessary with regards to any inappropriate behavior or comments or speech or demands that may be being made upon you. I hope that's very clear for you, Aquarius. I feel that you have some work to do and action to take here that needs to be addressed very swiftly in order for this to be corrected. As I said, it could have been going on for a long time, or it may be something that's shown up recently. But I do feel it's important for me to say to you right now that you don't deserve to be treated this way, and that it is up to you. No one's going to come and save you here. I'm sorry. There's no hero in this story. You're the hero. You're the one that needs to communicate clearly where your boundaries are. You're the one that needs to adjust and address any places where you are lacking self-confidence or self-worth and self-value, and strive to overcome that. Strive to work on re-establishing your personal boundaries in a way that is clear and determines where your self-worth and self-value really is, in a way that's very evident to other people, so that you cannot be taken advantage of. The bottom of the deck, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Wheel of Fortune, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and Page of Swords. Let's see. I feel that There's something here about, again, I mean, basically these cards are kind of saying what I've already been talking about this whole reading. But again, there's something here saying like this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, I feel is you. I don't think that this is another person. Whereas I felt like these other court cards in the reading could be describing other people or types of energy. But I feel this Queen of Pentacles in reverse with the Wheel of Fortune upright is saying here that you can through your own, I'm hearing adversity, but through the situation that you're experiencing here now, you can swiftly make a change in the course that you are on by simply acknowledging and addressing that you may have taken a submissive position, that you may have taken a weakened position, and that you are not as grounded as you could be or as that you should be, and that in acknowledging this energy of what's going on here, you can rather swiftly turn things around by simply striving and working, as I said, to recalibrate and reestablish a sense of self-worth and a sense of confidence and groundedness, and establishing your personal space in a specific way that makes it impossible for someone to fuck with you, basically. So sort this out as soon as possible. And know your self-worth. Really work on that. Like if you're coming from places where, you know, you may, I mean, we all are dealing with self-confidence and self-worth issues. That's like basically the human experience. But it's important here to acknowledge that, you know, we may have, I mean, whether or not, however this is playing out for you, and whatever is the source of a lack of self-confidence or self-worth, if you're the kind of person that has always been taught to be nice and be polite no matter what, I feel like that's a lot of what is being addressed here, is that like the need to be seen as nice and polite all the time, and how that overrides someone taking advantage of you. That needs to stop. You need to be able to speak up when something's happening that is unacceptable, and don't just be like shell-shocked or like deer in headlights kind of a vibe and like let someone walk all over you or abuse you or take advantage of you or force you into a submissive position because you don't know how to say no. You need to learn how to say no very quickly and sort this out. And with this Eight of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Swords, again, there's a lot of energy here in these extended cards that are saying to me there's a lack of groundedness in you, that there is, again, it's more of the same here, of this kind of submissive energy, of something a little bit too passive, something about being too polite or not able to speak up for yourself when there's something unjust happening or unfair happening. You kind of just like take it on and just like deal with it, even though it's wrong, you know, like that's something that you really want to get a handle on pretty quickly. And again, like establishing a new boundary, a new personal, personal space is vital here in this situation to kind of correct the course of this, of your own personal course of karma in life, of how you're perceived by other people, and also how you move through life. It's very much about you reestablishing, recalibrating your sense of self-worth and self-value, self-confidence, in order to be, I'm hearing, accepted. But it's like how people perceive you and how people treat you is very much about how you hold yourself and I'm hearing accountability. But yeah, you need to be responsible here and say, okay, maybe there has been some of this energy, and okay, there's an injustice here. There's like a crossing of a line, crossing of personal boundaries. And I don't mean any disrespect when I say this, but you need to acknowledge that it's been your energy that's been allowing that to go on. So what I'm saying here is like correct your own frequency, like recalibrate your own energy field so that there's no room for somebody to take advantage of you or to cross the personal boundary or to speak inappropriately or behave in any way towards you that you don't feel comfortable with. It's all in your energy field. Like the experiences that you're having are dependent and completely upon how you hold yourself energetically. And that's what's being described here. Ooh, download. I feel that's it for the general reading, Aquarius. I'm just going to check over here, make sure there's nothing else. I didn't really mention, but you do have the sun here in the outcome position. It's reversed, but the sun is always a positive reading. And with strength at the heart of the reading, there's a lot of fire energy here that's being kind of invoked. And I do, again, with the sun card being there in the position of the outcome, even though it's reversed and the chariot and the lovers are both reversed here, I do feel that this is a very encouraging energy from the universe and from your higher self to say that there is a lot of potential here for you to correct the course of this, of your journey, of your experience rather quickly, and that you can overcome any of your own personal shortcomings or lack of self-confidence that has been enabling these kinds of experiences to be your reality. You can do this as quickly as you decide to learn how to say no. And just speak up for yourself a little bit more. It's okay, you know, like I said earlier, you know, we're very much culturally taught that it's important to be nice, and that's okay to be nice, but it's more important to be honest and to establish a certain kind of clarity and authority in your energy field and determine your personal space in a way that is so clear for other people that this type of bullshit would never happen. It's up to you. Okay, so we're going to take the Voyager deck now and shuffle again to do the higher octave reading. The higher octave reading is designed to give a little more insight into what's happening on a karmic and spiritual level. It will also provide a little more insight into how to best move forward, how to deal with the opportunities that are available to us through the energy that we're dealing with, so that we can make the most out of the current situation and take the highest road, get the most, take as much as we can out of the current experience. Okay, so again, while I'm shuffling, please tune in, send your energy over to the deck, check in with your higher self, and make sure that any messages that need to be passed on are coming through. So let's see what the higher octave reading has to say about this energy. Six of Crystals crossed by the Magician reversed. Death. Woman of Crystals in reverse. Eight of Crystals. Seven of Crystals reversed. Man of Cups. Emperor, that's interesting. Strength reversed. Again, the Strength card is there. Devil reversed. Wheel of Fortune again in the reading coming out. It's both upright in both readings. Then we have Three of Cups again. That was here in the previous reading. Time Space in reverse. And Man of Wands. Interesting. So you have Man of Cups and Man of Wands paired together here. I like this spread. This is a very interesting energy. It's kind of, there's a lot of repeating cards in this spread, but it's kind of there's a different energy here. It's a different kind of an energy. This energy feels much more empowered. This energy feels more like, I mean, simply seeing the Man of Cups and the Man of Wands both upright in your reading in this position here, which describes how you see yourself at this time. This feels to me very much like you have the gumption. Like this is telling me that you may whether or not it's simply a fact of having that you're watching this reading right now and that awareness is coming to you in a way that's really clear, that this is telling me that you have a kind of clarity about your situation, which is very empowered. I'm hearing also very empathic. Like both of these cards being upright is telling me that you see what you need to do and you are going to take action in a way that is very swift and clarified and understanding of, I feel like I think simply just from having watched that previous reading, I feel like a lot of you are having light bulb moments here in a way that is making you feel really empowered to take action in your situation, to convert a story or a situation that is not ideal into one, like it's a course correction. That's what this feels like, a course correction, like pretty instantly. Death as the crowning card with the with Devil and Fortune and Strength here, all these like, and Magician, like a lot of major arcana energy here too. Judgment and Emperor in this position. It very much feels like you understand, like this is a deep lesson. There's something that's been going on here perhaps for a long time. This may be some existing condition that you've been living with for a long time. And I just really feel like the moment is right. The moment is right here, right now, for you to hear what I'm saying and take action on it in a way that really changes the course of your life in a really incredibly powerful way. Like death as the crowning card with devil and fortune. These three cards are all saying to me, like, you are alchemizing and transmuting. That's what the magician as well is saying here. Like, you are using the alchemy of awareness, of seeing and understanding how you have been participating in a certain kind of play in your life, and you are willing and ready right now to change the course of that action through understanding your role, how you may have been passive to a certain type of energy. And in a way here, it's saying like that moment of being passive and submissive to certain ways is over, and you are being here proactive. But in a very, like, it's not an aggressive energy. It's a very just simply calm and empowered in a way of understanding your emotional intelligence and authority in your life, in not just in this one situation that you may be dealing with specifically right now, but I think that you're able to see here from this situation that perhaps a lot of the dynamics that you've been in through life, whether it's with bosses or co-workers or partners or family members, has dictated a certain kind of outcome for you. And I really feel like you are seeing the end of that cycle now, where other people kind of have been able to manipulate you or control you in certain ways, or play on that niceness or that kindness that you always bring, and kind of are able to overstep a boundary that exists, but it's not loud enough. It hasn't been loud enough. That's the point here. Like, your boundaries have not been evident to other people. And this is important. I'm hearing restore. It's a really important moment in your life right now to understand how critical it is for you to restore a personal boundary and a personal space, to re-establish and restore your personal strength, your personal will into your energy field in a way that is empowering and kind of like, it's kind of funny words to try to put to this impression of energy I'm feeling, but it's almost like you are kind of like, instead of like being excuse me, energetically receptive in a certain environment and just like taking on the will of other people through a kind of passivity or a niceness or a kindness, this feels more like you are actually impressing your environment around you with your energy in a way that is much more magical, in a way that in the way that it allows you to manifest more of your own personal will rather than being the instrument of other people's will. I hope this is making sense. Feels really clear for me. This energy is really cool. It's very powerful. It's very beautiful. And I feel like there's something here in this reading, in these cards specifically, where it's like there's no like feeling bad about like expressing your power or your authority. It's very loving and gentle, like Man of Cups, Man of Wands here with like Three of Cups and strength. And it feels like you may be overcoming also a kind of shyness. It's also kind of what some of this energy here is. Like, you might be overcoming some shyness and some kind of quietness and being willing now to be more vocal and more at the forefront of a situation or of your own life in a way that is very much like driving and participating more in outcomes rather than just being available to what happens and being kind of at the mercy of people's will. Okay, again, fortune with devil in the outcome. Devil is reversed here. These are in the position of the outcome. So this feels incredibly powerful to me, very empowered. Death in reverse is saying to me that you are overcoming any self-limitations, codependencies, attachments. This is an energy that is describing kind of, I mean, empowerment is maybe the best word in my vocabulary that I could use for that. But it's kind of like taking off the shackles. It's like overcoming that submissive energy, you know, and just being in your own authority. That's what the Emperor is bringing as well. The Emperor is about being the authority of your own domain, being empowered and really establishing yourself at the seat of your own authority in a very grounded, very established way, in a very clear way. Nobody fucks with the Emperor. And also time space here in reverse. This is Judgment from the Rider-Waite deck. Judgment in this position here, I feel, is saying that I'm hearing truth. I think a lot of bells are going off for you right now when you're listening to what I'm saying here. I feel like you are understanding that I'm speaking the truth, and this message is really clear for you in helping you to see that you are a lot more powerful than you may have allowed yourself to feel. And that this is really important. It's an important moment for you to understand that it's really vital that you really re-establish your own personal authority in life and clarify your energy field and your personal boundaries and your personal space in a way that really disables other people's ability that they've had until now to really, you know, have their way with you in certain ways. Have their outcome or their willpower be kind of channeled through your energy to get what they want, or to get you to do things that they want, or to behave the way they want, or to speak the way they want, or to be submissive, or to be yeah, I think you get what I'm saying here. Seven of crystals in the outcome, eight of crystals in the recent past, and the 6 of crystals at the center of the reading. So you have 6, 7, and 8 of crystals across this central axis of the reading. Again, I feel like this is a moment where you're understanding with clarity the things I'm saying in a way that is enabling you to just kind of synthesize everything until this point, and from here on, everything's different. But I do feel that there is something important here about communicating, right? Like, it's one thing to kind of clarify your own personal boundaries for yourself, but if that's not evident to other people in a way that you have made very clear verbally, because not everyone can sense energies, even though they may know something's different. If there's been people who've been behaving towards you in specific ways with certain expectations, and all of a sudden your energy is different, but they are not aware of that yet, it's going to be weird. It's going to be confusing. And I do feel there's something very empowering and important here about expressing verbally and communicating verbally that your personal space is different now, and your boundaries are different now, and make that really clear and really like crystal clear in a way that's evident beyond any doubt. But it's not enough to just do it energetically. I feel it's really important here to actually communicate verbally that your personal energy or your personal space, your boundaries are being re-established in a way that is changing the dynamics of your interactions with people. And they need to understand that. The bottom of the deck, we have Moon reversed, Child of Wands reversed, 7 of Worlds upright, and 8 of Cups reversed. I feel that what this is speaking about here is that there's some... like this Child of Worlds card feels to me like there is something about this energy of boundaries and clarifying your personal space and re-establishing a kind of self-confidence that is, it's just a nod here to childhood or some kind of issue from the past or some kind of event or just simply learned behavior from earlier in life that has just, it's just a habituated way of being in the world that needs to be rewired, reworked, and I said recalibrated several times through the reading. That's what this energy is. It's like undoing automated or learned behavior that establishes a certain type of attitude or perception or modes of communication or expectation or energy reciprocation, right? That needs to be rewired, reworked, and redefined in a way that makes it clear to other people that that type of submission energy or willfulness being imposed upon you is no longer possible. And then Seven of Worlds here with the Eight of Cups reverse. Sorry. Again, I feel there is something very clearly here about like your physical energy in the world, but also the way like your emotional intelligence has been understated in a way that's been enabling others to manipulate you, sometimes in very subtle ways too, right? You know, it could just be something as simple as the way a person, you know, can pass a certain comment that is kind of undermining to your confidence, and that you kind of just like, oh, that felt not good, that hurt in a way, in a certain way, but you may not say anything about it, or you may not do anything about it. This is important here for you to start to be more willing to confront and communicate things to people when those little moments happen that kind of like you could just let it pass and it's whatever, like, but actually that stuff kind of accumulates over time and it enables a certain kind of like trajectory of a relationship, and you could find yourself ending up somewhere in years from now that you really don't want to be in. Okay, I hope that feels clear. I feel like that's it for your reading this month, Aquarius, for this time. Let's check over here, make sure there's nothing I've forgotten. Unconditional love is the key element here, of course, for your own personal healing, your own personal like boundaries is very much about self-love. And when you restore that kind of self-love, you're establishing a protocol. That's what a lot of this is, like establishing a protocol for how other people treat you. Very much depends on how you treat yourself and how you love and respect yourself. So that's basically the work that's going on here at the moment. And, you know, don't worry if you don't get this right away. It's going to take a little bit of practice. It's going to take a little getting used to. It's going to take a little bit of like discomfort at first when you first start learning how to say no to people, or confronting people, or speaking up when someone is inappropriate towards you. It's not easy at first, but it does get easier with practice. So be willing to be in those uncomfortable moments when you first start to relearn this kind of behavior of reestablishing your personal space and your personal boundaries, because will get easier with time. And fundamentally the quality of your life is going to improve dramatically once you start to really put this work into practice. There's no going back afterwards. Okay, Aquarius, that's your reading for this time, for May 2019. Thank you so much for watching. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. If you have, thank you so much. Hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when new readings are uploaded. Come back to this reading perhaps at the end of the month if you want to review, or at any time. As I said, all the readings on this channel you'll find are filled with timeless wisdom. You see on your screen right now the playlist for the other readings for this month, for May. So check out your Sun, Moon and Ascendant, or if you're cross-watching for someone you care about or that you're interested in, you can also see their reading there. And then the other playlist on the screen is now for previous readings for Aquarius for months gone by. So if you're new here, please check out some of the previous readings so you can understand a little bit more about what I'm about here, or what this channel is about. And as I said, you'll get a lot out of watching older readings from here, because as I said, it's all timeless wisdom. So thanks again, and I'll see you in next month's reading.